Hi, today I'm going to show you how to use the CSS Box Model. You see I have a picture, or rather a web page, with a bunch of Latin placeholder text, and this image that drops right here in the middle of it. If you're curious, that's the shield for the city of Pittsburgh. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how the margin works, the border works, and the padding works around this picture. When you're done, you'll have very clear understanding of the box model, and you'll be able to apply it to any object in the HTML or CSS world. Taking a look at the website medium.com, there's an image here that shows how the box model works. We've got the content, surrounding the content, between the content and the border is the padding. An easy way to remember that, if you've recently received an order from Amazon and it was inside of a big box, there was padding between the order and the big box so the order didn't break. The border becomes the cardboard box that that Amazon shipment would be in. And then the margin is the space between the border and the rest of the web page. All of these are adjustable. They all have different sizes. By default, they're non-existent. As you can see when you look at this page, there's no spacing whatsoever. But you have the ability to play with margins around the whole object or just top, left, bottom, right. Or you can play with a border all around the object or just top, left, bottom, right, etc. So I have my image up here and I floated it to the left. That's how I got it to look like it did. Alright, let's start with a border. I'm going to use a shortcut property here. The shortcut property wants three parameters passed in. The thickness of the border, which I'll specify in points. 3-point border. I have a variety of types, solid, dash, dotted. I'll pick solid. And I'll give it a color. You may use the words or you can use the HTML5 CSS colors. Refresh. I have a border. And you can see that the border is right up on the picture. If I don't like using the border all around, I have the ability to specify borders in specific locations. And here I did it using the RGB values just to prove that I could. Border dash right, this would just put a border on the right hand side of the image. Likewise, top, left, bottom will do the same things. If you want this to look cheesy, you can pick 4 different colors. So I'm going to set borders in the right, top, and bottom just because I can. Please don't. The margin is the space between the border and the rest of the page. I recommend using M's for your margin widths and your padding widths because these are the widths of characters. These scale really nicely when you go from device to device. On just the regular page, you don't care, but when you go from a computer down to a phone, to an Xbox, to a PlayStation, pixels are different in each one of those, and points are different. An M is always the width of the letter M, so it'll always be consistent. You see now I have 2 characters between the margin and the rest of the text. Likewise, with border, I can do margin top, margin bottom, margin left, margin right. And I'll do padding. Padding is the space between the border and the objects. So I'll do a padding dash top. I'll do 1 EM on the top. Just to be different, to prove that you can have different spacing all around. Whenever you find that objects are sitting up next to one another, adjust the margins and they'll move closer or further away. Like my H2, I'm going to see if I can move the H1 up a little bit. So I'm going to set a 0 margin to my H1 and it moved up a little. Not too much. The point is you can play with these margins to do what you need. You can play with the padding to give spaces. Use this property whenever you're laying out pages. Remember the picture, content, padding's right around it, boarding's outside of the padding, and the margins outside of the border. All right, good luck. Thanks for listening.